Guys, first and foremost, the heat in Europe is just crazy. I've never seen heat this strong as it is, as we're experiencing here in Europe now. But that's not a big issue. That's not why I'm making this video. Welcome to my channel. First and foremost, I appreciate the love you guys are doing, showing me. Like, comment, subscribe on this channel if you find it interesting. Remember, we talk about sports, anything that makes the headline, football, fighting, whatever it could be, as long as it makes the headline. And you know, my specialty is about football and fighting. The rest, we could talk about it if it makes the headline. But this time, we're talking about the just concluded UFC 317, which just happened. And there were a lot of interesting things that got to my mind during that period of the fight and after the fight. Remember, guys, it was very interesting, the fight, the main event, most especially, because the way Ilia Topuria handled the situation, knocked out Charles Oliveira, wasn't just the highlight of the show, of the event. The highlight of the event was the call out. And now the UFC now have a little problem here. A little problem. In the same building, the same UFC 317 event after that fight against Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira, we had three contenders. We had three contenders in that building. And first and foremost, we were not expecting Ilia to call out Paddy the Pimblet. We are not expecting Ilia to call out Paddy Pimblet. We have a big question here, a massive question, which the UFC are the only people that can answer that. Who do you think should be the next in line to face Ilia Topuria for the lightweight title? Remember, Ilia Topuria left his belt from the featherweight to the lightweight division, and he fought a Charles Oliveira who wasn't the number one contender. Remember, Charles Oliveira wasn't the number one contender. The real number one contender was in the building that night. He fought Charles Oliveira. The actual champion was Islam Makhachev, who just left division to a higher division, to the welterweight. So here is the big question. Who, at the moment, who is the worthy contender to fight Ilia Topuria? Number one option is the real number one contender, which is Arman Tsakurian. You know, we could make a case that Arman Tsakurian should be the one to fight for the lightweight division against Ilia Topuria next. But we have issues here with Arman Tsakurian and the UFC. You know, during this period of this UFC 317, there was a backup fighter, which is Arman Tsakurian. He made the weight, which was the biggest problem he had during his last fight for the title against Islam Makhachev. This is the problem we have. The UFC kind of are pissed off by that attitude of Arman Tsakurian, that they made a fight card, a pay-per-view in his name, only for him to lose weight at the final day of the fight, which is really, really embarrassing. If there's something the UFC hate, is you being the name in the pay-per-view and you missed weight. Dana White hates this really bad. And it's so difficult that as a fighter, except you are in the status of Conor McGregor, John Jones, then you could be able to be left like, you could be able to do whatever you want. But even at that, John Jones and Conor McGregor never lose weight, never lost weight during their time. But Arman Tsakurian had one opportunity to fight for the title. But what did he do? He lost weight. And now, which put him in a very critical situation as our next fighter, which I'm going to call. So this question has to be answered by you guys. I'll be reading down from the comments below. I really want your opinion. So our next opponent, our next option is Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje defeated Dustin Poirier to become the BMF title holder. Remember, guys, Justin Gaethje defeated Dustin Poirier, and he was the one that was called to be the next in line. But what did he do? The UFC was fighting, was looking for who to represent them in doing this 300 pay-per-view 300, during this celebrated UFC 300. There was nobody. But what did Justin Gaethje do? Justin Gaethje came out. He said, "I want to help you guys. I'm a company man. I want to make the UFC 300 not be boring because it's a very big pay-per-view. What did he do? He defended his BMF title against Max Holloway. Hope, hopefully that everything is going to turn out well for him. That after beating Max Holloway, is going to go for the belt next. What happened? He lost woefully. He was knocked out on the fifth round, dominated during the 5th round, and get knocked out on the 5th round. But due to UFC has already promised him that, okay, if you do this for us, we are going to give you the title next because you saved the card. Because there is no card that you put Justin Gagey in that card won't be interesting. I mean, Justin Gagey is the favorite. He's your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. But Justin Gagey lost that fight. And now we have a complicated situation. Do we have to keep our promise as the UFC? Do we have to put Justin Gagey to fight for the title next? That question has been on hold since that fight against Max Holloway. And Justin Gagey hasn't come back and fought. I think Justin Gagey came back. Yes, he came back and fought this guy and won the fight. I've forgotten this guy. Somebody remind me this guy's name. He came back and fought this guy that he fought before and won the fight. And he's now in a very critical condition because we're really looking for the for the number one opponent to face Ilia Topuria because Ilia Topuria came out of this fight fresh without wound. And now we're talking about the third option, which on paper, in pay-per-view, in market-wise, should be the number one opponent to face Charles Oliveira, Ilia Topuria, I mean, which is Paddy the Pimblet. We all know that when it comes to grudge match, the UFC thrive with this. People want to watch grudge fights. And the two biggest names at the moment in that lightweight division now is Ilia Topuria and Paddy the Pimblet. And they have grudge between two of them. And now this is the problem. Paddy the Pimblet just defeated Michael Chandler, who was the number 8 rank lightweight fighter in the division. What did he do? He defeated him and put him, now he's in the number 8 position. And now we're in the building where Paddy Pimblet wasn't even thinking of fighting Ilia Topuria, now being the one who faces Ilia Topuria after his win against Charles Oliveira. So let's put it in this frame. The rightful number one should be Arman Tsakurian. We put him in the bracket. We kept our promise. We want to keep our promise as we always love to keep our promise. With Justin Gagey, who is the highlight reel. We put him in the bracket. Because Justin Gagey came out the other day and said, if UFC doesn't make him fight for the title, he's going to retire. And Dana White responded with, if you ever think of retiring, you should retire. And now we have, on paper, somebody who is going to sell your fight in a minute in Paddy the Pimblet. And now you are the UFC. Let's say you are Dana White. You are in Dana White's shoes now. Who do you think should be the next title contender for the lightweight side, the championship belt against Ilia Topuria? If you're Dana White, who do you think should be the next in line? Arman Tsakurian, Justin Gagey, or Paddy Pimblet? I'll be reading down from the comment below. Like, comment, subscribe. I love what you guys are showing to me, guys. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Peace.